All right. So yeah, put it in the chat. Put your question in the chat for me. Oh, there they are. Okay, I see. Okay, George, you're broad. It's good. Um, are you narrowing a little bit or
I was thinking of narrowing it a little bit more to for FDI
mm-hmm.
and
In
renewable
agriculture?
energy. In renewable energy.
FDI in a renewable energy. I'm looking at Andrew's and thinking it's yours. Okay, sorry, Andrew. I was reading yours. It was very interesting. Okay, I was thinking it was George. Development energy agreements that include environmental purchases to increase the share of renewable energy consumption among member states. Very good. Very interesting. Okay, Alexandra, how is the shift to regional trade blocks? Adapt the market block level. Okay, yours is Alexandra. You send me this one, right?
Yes, through email.
But you edited it a bit or no? It's the same.
No, it's the same.
Um, and you found data for this?
Yes. Varying um, in nationalities, but I did find a few articles about this.
But not articles, you found data like fuentes, the data, repositories of data to analyze.
Well,
Like how are
I
you going to
found
assess marketing strategies without proprietary information?
I had not thought that far out.
That's what you need to think about. I mean, we can make all kinds of questions, but can we test it
Okay.
or assess it? So you need to, that's why I wrote you back and said, what kind of data? So anyway, with this exercise, you're going to be able to extract from each of your papers the relevant information, papers that are doing similar things, and where do they find their data, and what are their variables, and what were their findings, and how can you replicate, similar variables with similar data, etc. That is the point of this exercise, that you see if yours is feasible. Okay, Karjit. And you have variables for that, Karjit? You think you can find variables for that?
Not yet.
So
Not yet. But there
go ahead.
no, not I haven't found I haven't put so much emphasis, or no, not emphasis. Now
Thoughts?
with the assignment two is when I'm finding everything to be able to build it.
Right. You're going to find what's assignment two, you're finding the components, what's available, how it's been done before, how can you
Yeah.
improve. Yeah, you don't look, this is not your thesis, right? It's just a
That,
paper. This is not like a life or death thing. It's just a paper to try to not to expose, kind of like an experiment, but it's just to develop your skills. That's it. It's it. It's just to like very put your I mean, some of you guys have done research before, like you've done research, but the idea here is to do academic research with, yeah, okay, we have aspirations of publishing it, but I want to bring you through all the steps, and in the end, you have some draft of something that either you take it to your next level, to the next level for your thesis, or you drop it completely because you see it's not tractable, it's not useful, it's not meaningful, nobody cares, whatever it is that you decide from it, but it's going through the experience. So it doesn't have to be, Doesn't have to be amazing. It's nice to have high expectations. Oh, interesting. They're all interesting. Everybody's got good ones. Carlos, did higher pre-COVID cash holdings mitigate stock price losses during the 2020 crash? Do you know how to get that data, Carlos?
I have read from the 15 papers, like 5 of them are US based, and I read them more like slowly, and I think I could start there. The other papers I haven't read, they're like, where did they get their data? And so I might need to look for more.
I think that this is Bloomberg data. You've been
So
to Bloomberg?
I'm gonna write that, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna search it for Bloomberg.
But you've been to the Bloomberg terminals? You know about the Bloomberg terminals on campus?
I know what it is, but I didn't know the campus had one.
Yeah, we have a laboratory.
Oh my God.
You guys are welcome to come on Saturday. I'm there Saturdays from 1 to 5 if that's useful, and you could come, and check it out. And the thing about Bloomberg is there's so much in there. I'm not an expert of everything of Bloomberg. I have some knowledge. I can guide you a bit, but to get specific data, you can just contact Bloomberg. They're 24/7. We have a subscription, and they help you. They help you get the right variables. They help you download. They help you. So that's what we pay for. The subscription, we have 3 licenses. We spend $100,000 a year on the terminal. So it would be great if you guys found a way to use them. So Carlos, this would be for international business. How are you going to make this international business? So we need some criteria. The regression has to be there. Has to be international business. Something new. And it has to be generalizable. Like people have to care about it to be able to publish it. Are there any things that I missed? Those are the important criteria. Any questions about that? So you got to spin it international business. You have to think about it. So this is what I mean. You guys don't have to be stuck with your question. You can expand it. You can shrink it. You can develop it. Okay. Trade, exchange price, logistic costs. T from major producing countries to key global. Christopher, how are you doing with your papers? There's lots of papers about tea, but I couldn't download them. I found a lot of papers about tea.
So I modified the research question, and that this is the one that I came up with. And so far, I have 9 articles. I've been able to find that most of them are in the ABCD rating, and only one of them has, and it's not in the ABDC rating because it's in a Journal of Agricultural Sustainability. However, it does have an H index of 58. So I'm just working towards the data, and I think I stuck with this research question to sort of add the variables that I'm gonna be exploring in the papers, because in the term of tea, there's different countries that produce a specific type of tea and different methods, and they all differ. And there's trade agreements, for example, between India and Sri Lanka that might give them a competitive edge over countries like Kenya that has no trade agreement. But then we have to consider the weather, we have to consider the method of production, how it is produced, and also when they are exporting now in the political climate that there's trade tariffs and exchange rates. So I'm kind of looking into all that. I found articles that have been published, for example, recent articles 2022. The oldest one is 2012, but I've been finding articles, and I'm trying to sort of get them all in business, which has been the most difficult part, because there's plenty of articles that have to do within agricultural, agronomy, or even economical
That's
science.
okay. That's okay. It doesn't have to be business. Oh, they don't all have to be business, but yeah, it's going to
And
be,
even in anthropology, which is my
yes.
major, I've been using that data as well.
Have you guys, so have you had trouble in general for everybody and Chris too? Have you had trouble finding articles or is the Sistema Bibliotecas, is that helping you find papers?
So I had to contact them because
Préstamo?
me hicieron una cuenta Open Atoms because I wasn't able to download most of the articles in JSTOR or this platform because I didn't have an account. So I sent them an email and they made me an account with the UPR access, and that's when I started having luck. When
Why
they
didn't you have an account?
I put the credentials and it was disabled or blocked, so I contacted the support people and they did something and not have an account. I don't know why it was blocked or disabled, so they had to help me get that fixed.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Everybody else has access, right?
I don't, Professor. I think
George, why?
that's happening to me. Like part of the reason I've been having struggle is because of that. The when I go to the site, it says it's gonna take me to the UPR, and then it says like uh, sometimes it said the I thought it was like the firewall. I took out all the firewalls. It's not the firewalls. And then it pointed me out to Mario from the bibliotecas. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to. I know him because I used to work with him in the past. I'm gonna talk to him, see if he can give me the access.
But George, have you had access before?
Yes, I did. Yeah, in the past, but maybe it's because I've been out of the university for so long.
Do you owe
Uh,
them a book or something?
Probably.
I think I owe them something, but they don't know. I haven't given it back. It was because it was during COVID and I was trying to give it back. And anyway, it's hard to explain. It was so chaotic and that's like the last thing on my list to do. But no, they haven't canceled my account yet. So yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there's some things at some point they might just write them off. I have no idea. All right, I don't see everybody's question. I'm missing some people's questions. Write something in there in the chat. There's some missing here. Write something, because I'm going to take this away. So this is going to be at the top of your assignment two, your research question, and then you're going to do your best to fill up that document. So you guys can give it to me on Friday. I don't mind. I'm going to cut it off at Friday because I don't want to be responsible for ruining your weekend, like, so Friday midnight, that's it. And I'll extend it. Do a good job. Think about those key things I mentioned. It has to be IB as an international business. It has to be a topic that's relatively new, which you're going to assess or you're going to defend because you have literature review that shows the gaps, that shows what's missing, right? That it's not exactly there, but there's some people who've done similar papers. And then what else did I say? That it has to be a regression analysis. So somebody asked me, do all the papers have to be regression? Well, yeah, don't waste any time. Try and make them all regression papers so that you can have a good, don't waste time reading stuff that's not regression because that's not what you need to do. There might be some background papers you need that don't do regression, that's fine. But try and stick with the regression type papers to give you ideas because we don't have time to spare. It's September 15. In a month, you're going to make your proposal presentation, and we have to have a pretty clear idea. This doesn't have to be a Nobel Prize, nothing like that. This whole thing is just to go through the motions, right? We're just going through the motions. You don't want to hate your topic because you do want to be excited about it. Who really likes their topic? It looks like some people do here. You
I
guys,
like
Professor, I have a question. When it comes to for example, while I was reading, I did find some articles that were not regression analysis, but they were conceptual or based on framework. Can I keep those in the list even though I had already put them? So can I just keep them or should I just take them out?
you know what? You can just don't make it one of the 15, but keep them on the list because you might use them. Yeah, just
Okay.
just maybe put them in a different tab. I'm assuming you guys are proficient with Excel, but get used to how you organize. But the 15 I'm going to grade are one tab, one worksheet, and then just put the other ones, the extras on another one just to keep them. So a lot, and in the past, people use reference managers for all their papers, and that's fine. Like if you guys want to develop expertise in reference manager, but I find this better because I can lay out how I want. And maybe that's how they have reference manager now. I haven't looked in the last 6 years at reference managers. There's one, I'll put you the link. If you guys heard of Mendeley, that's one that's free that people use. And you can use that too, but I think what we're doing for the purposes that we're doing is very specific. If you like to take this strategy, to your future, into your future, that's up to you. But in general, you guys can do whatever you want. But Mendeley is a reference manager that's free, and I'm not going to teach it, but they do give like seminars, and doctoral students are welcome to those seminars. That becomes useful when you're, for your thesis, when you read hundreds of papers, right? And it helps organize them. Kind of like what we're doing, but we're much more specific about what we want. Not so general about just putting the main details of papers that we read. Okay, so today's assignment, or today, what we're going to work on, if you guys don't have any comments for me.
I have one question regarding the spreadsheet, Professor. When it comes to two things, one, the second column that says key, that just means if it's a key paper used in the proposal, meaning it is a regression analysis paper.
Key in the sense that the method, like the methodology is what you're going to follow, or that it's like a seminal paper for the topic that was, whenever it was written, it spawned all sorts of other literature. And yeah, it's going to show up in your introduction. Like it's a, seminal paper or seminal methodology.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And for citation, it's the link toward the paper.
The citation, you don't have to put the link. I didn't think of putting the link, but it's going to be, I guess because you have the DOI, but yeah, the citation. The citation doesn't have to necessarily link. But
because I put DOI and I put hyperlink
DOI is fine.
to the download of the
a lot of people use
paper.
the APA link with the DOI. I usually either, DOI is nice too.
Okay.
I'm not requiring DOI because it's not like if you use the Google Scholar thing I showed you, it doesn't always come with DOI. But okay. Any more comments or questions?
Question. I also had a question regarding the key column, but you just answered it. But my question now is in the search strategy used to find the document. In the one that you get, for example, you have Boolean operators, at least for all my non-articles. I just put my research question in Google Scholars and I started finding them. So in that area, do I put Google Scholar? How do I put?
No, you're supposed to have a search strategy, Christopher. You're supposed to have a search strategy.
Because I kept adding the question and refining and finding the articles using parameters, but I didn't have the whole Boolean operator. I just kept putting
I want
words.
the Boolean operator. Okay, well, so you didn't do it right. You didn't do it right, but it's salvageable. Don't worry. Just mention that you did that, and now you have more time.
Okay.
Maybe go with the Boolean operator too.
Okay, perfect.
It's much more systematic, to have the Boolean search strategy and go from there, because somebody can replicate that and follow follow your trail. The way you're doing it is very haphazard, and you're just like lucky, getting this article and that article and following this one. It's much more systematic if you do the search strategy. But now that, you were probably just scrambling to get this done, so now you have some more time. Go back and see if you find any more articles. But now also, when did you fix your account? When did you fix your access?
I sent them an email. They did it on 2 days ago. 2 or 3 days ago is when they sent me the link.
Okay, so it's very recent. All right, so I see your pain. I understand it. I get it. George, a comment?
Yeah, I was gonna say that for that, the search strategy, one thing I did, and it's showing in my columns, in my cells, is that I changed a little bit the Boolean strategy. Sometimes I took words out, and it helped me find other papers that maybe I was too restricted.
Suppressing, yeah.
And so that was really
Good,
helpful.
good.
The other thing that has worked phenomenally for me is I took the top papers like that were A plus category,
Mhm.
and I looked at their
References.
yes, that has been
Yeah,
that's
that's mint. That's what you want to do because they found all the papers. They're ahead of you. So yeah, use those. And the other thing you can do is the forward citation. Did I show you guys about that? So you see, you check who cited the paper that interests you to see where it went from there. So let's say you're reading a paper that was published in 2023 or 2021, and you want to see who cited that paper. Did I show you how to do that? Does that sound familiar? I might have left it out, but okay, let's see.
I don't think we did. I don't think we
Okay,
did.
let me show you that. Okay, who wants to give me a topic or a paper or something? Give me a search strategy. Throw something into the chat that I can use. Yeah. Okay, Brazil SMEs export regression. Okay. Okay, just simple.
Would you like me to put the paper I used to that led me to that strategy led me to a paper? Would you like me to add the paper as well?
No, it's okay. Let's see what happens. But did you make a big Boolean search strategy or no? Did you do that? Are you gonna
No,
do that? You're gonna do
I
that,
I'm
right?
going to do that.
Okay. Giving you more time makes everything possible. All right, let's share my screen. But thank you for the terms. So we have some terms. And the very top of the paper was cited 475 times. It was written in 2016. And so I can see who cited it. Ever since 2016, it's almost 10 years.
I
So I
used
can,
the fourth one.
huh?
The
It's
one
okay. It's
I
okay.
was
We
referring to
won't look
was
at
the
that.
fourth
We
one.
won't look at that right now. Let's go with this one because it's so big. But the fourth one, oh, you're saying this is the one you picked.
Yes.
Okay, let's go with this one then. Okay, so this one was cited by 44. Okay, so this one was cited. So these are the 44 authors that cited that paper. So since, what was the year of that paper? 2016 again. Since 2016, that was almost 10 years ago. What's happened? I want to know what happened with the topic. So these are all the people, 44 results of articles that cited that paper. So I can search within here now. I can search within these articles by clicking here and I can put the keywords. I can put the keywords again. Because remember, these are not what showed up with the keywords. These are articles that cited the ones that showed up with the keywords. So let's say I put the keywords again and now 10. 10 of the citing papers also have the keywords. So then I can go through these and see what's happened. So 2025, this is the most recent, the same topic, beyond differentiation, how competitive intensity shapes export performance for Mozambican SMEs. Very good. Recent 2025, so it'll catch you up. You can read that and then you can go also through the references. Did you guys see what I did? I clicked in the box and then I used the same. You can use different search terms, but the idea was to go to the citing papers. All right. What else can I say? And you can save these and go through the whole thing. You can add those to your list. we also talked about the review article. If you click here, this is going to give you like systematic review articles. There's a lot. Innovation for Competitiveness in Brazil, an overview of recent performance in main government policies, 2019. So this is not necessarily, well, it has these topics in it. So they highlight here, they show you where it is they've highlighted the terms in either the abstract or the paper itself. But this specifically is a review of articles, an overview of recent performance in main government policy. So that's cool. And that can also lead to more. Okay. Let me tell you something. It says 1,320, but it might not show all 1,320. If you guys have really gone deep into this, you might not be able to see them all. So I figured out a way. If I want to see them all, I go year by year. I go year by year. If you really want to get, because it just won't post. There's limits. There's just limits in what it shows you. There's limits. It has to cut somewhere or whatever. I don't know the algorithm exactly, but so then you just go by year, and then you'll at least see the 300 from the year you want. If it was at the bottom of the 1,000, it doesn't want to show you by the end. Okay. Okay. Any questions about that? I can repeat any of that if that was not clear. But essentially, cited by is very helpful at following the breadcrumbs of what was done with this paper. Who cares about this paper? How was it interpreted? How relevant is it today? All those things. What other papers has it spawned? Okay. George.
I did mine as you were doing, and I was checking and seeing there has been a lot more people that have investigated the research similar topics as mine. Maybe not the same, like because
Was
I
similar.
yes, but very similar. So yeah, that's great strategy.
Yeah. Good, good. All right, so keep track of all of that. All right. So today I wanted to introduce our assignment for regression. And let me do it with the website, unless you guys have any other comments. So it's not visible right now, but because I have to edit it from the summer. But I'm going to make it visible after the class. Just going to find it here. Right. Okay, here are the notes. I have a bunch of notes here, but I need to revise them. Okay, let me show you. So let me ask you about your knowledge of simple linear regression. What can you tell me about simple linear regression? That's what we're going to talk about next. But I'm going to make some of these visible after the class. These are some lecture notes that I just want to look at and revise a bit. These are from, this is also to show you regression and interpretation, multiple regression analysis. These are notes on regression, simple regression. Oh, some videos I made on how to do regression. More regression. Okay, how to make a line. So everything starts with the line, right? The regression line. We start with a line from mathematics in high school, and then we talk about the statistical prediction line, which is a different thing. And your assignment's going to be all about the Z statistics car price data. So this is where I'm going to, this is what I'm going to leave you with. We're going to do a little bit of this, but really, this guy, Z Statistics, has made a great website, a YouTube channel where he teaches statistics, multiple regression. He does an extremely thorough job. I don't teach multiple regression except for in this class, and since I've been doing it, I've been using his his videos. Um, so okay, this is just repeated. I have duplicates here. So I'm going to clean this up. You're not going to see all this mess. I'm going to open this one so you can see it, and you're going to download the data. Hold on. I have duplicates, duplicate. I think that will be fine if I give you that. Okay, I'm going to make this visible. Tell me if you can see it. It's called JBob. We're going to do everything in Excel. For your projects, maybe you want to use a different kind of software, but honestly, you can do a lot of things on Excel. You can get pretty far. And you don't have to learn a programming language. You just have to utilize the statistical functions in Excel. Everybody has Excel, right? But does everybody have the data pack? The tool data analysis package in Excel? So open up your Excel. Oh, first of all, go to the website and see if you can add that. The data Z statistics car price data full data set. Do you see it?
No, Professor, we're not seeing it.
No,
No?
it's not there.
Not there? It's open.
Can you share the link in the chat?
I don't know if I can share the link. It's just on the Moodle.
Oh, let me check.
It should just be, let me see. I'll show you. I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's just down, it's below. Let's see where it is. Okay, okay, they're out of order. So those are the videos I'm going to link to, but here, it's at the bottom. It's just at the bottom.
Is
I'll
the
move it.
JBob Excel?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I
JBob.
was able to download it.
Great. I gotta make this cleaner. There's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, how about all this material? All right, so I put it at the top.
I got it now, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo también ya lo tengo.
All right. So it's here, Z statistics, car price data, full data set new. I'm gonna share. Francesette's with us too. She's a PhD student. She did this before, but I told her to come in to join us for a review. Francette, do you have that? Yeah, you can use R, Carlos. It's fine. But for this assignment, you got to send it in Excel because I'm not going to mark it in our.
Hello, hello.
Hello, do you have that data set, J-Bob? Do you remember J-Bob?
Oh, no, not yet.
Okay, I put it in the chat.
Ah, okay.
You can get it from the chat.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so let's look at this together and just imagine what we're going to do. Envision what the project is. So we want to study the relationship between these variables in that we want to predict price of a car, and we believe that the factors that determine the price of the car could be some of these, these probably are responsible for the price. That how much the car has been used, like the odometer reading, the age of the car, whether it's passed an inspection, and I don't even know what this variable is. Can't remember. I have to check again. So anyway, so it's not just about these variables influencing price, it's how they influence and how they interact with each other. What do you think is the relationship between the odometer reading and the price? How would you describe that relationship? You can put it in the chat or you can tell me.
Inverso.
The higher the odometer,
Mhm.
the lower the price. Nice explanation. Inverse relationship. Okay. Yeah. Right. So inverse. And how is that affected by the age of the car? What is the age of the, what's the relationship between the age of the car and the price? Is odometer enough to explain the price of the car? Or does age play a role? And how does age relate? Or how does age influence the price of the car? You can look at the data. So we want to look at the data in a systematic way to come up with an idea.
In general, I think the older the car, the lower the flat price.
Uh-huh. But there's a but.
There is a but. But if it is a classic car, then it would
Yeah.
be different.
Very good. So it reverses, right? It becomes a
Yes.
positive relationship. It becomes a,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a positive trend. The older the car, after a certain point, the greater the price because it's a well-maintained classic car. Very good. And so the price goes up. You guys have the idea. All right. So how are we going to look at this? So first let's make sure you have the data pack on your Excel. So you need to go to Excel add-ins. Oh, just check. Do you have data analysis? Does it say data? Can you guys see that? What I'm pointing at? It says data analysis. Do you see the drop-down menu or no? Under tools, it should say data analysis. Under tools.
I don't see your mouse, Professor. Can you move your mouse?
You know what? It's not showing up. Let's see. Maybe I'll take a picture. I'm going to take a picture and put it in the chat because if it's not showing, it's just, oh, I know what I can do. I can make it the screen. Let's see. Let's try that first. I'll share the screen, not just Excel. Do you see my mouse now?
Yes, now I can see it.
Okay. So under Do you see it now? Tools,
Yes.
data analysis.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have that, you need to add it.
Because I have a tab that's called data.
Yeah, and what is under there?
We have from database, from Azure, queries and connections, sort filter, what if analysis, forecast sheet, stocks, currencies.
But do you have this one? Data analysis under auditing?
No, I don't have that.
Okay, do you have this Excel add-ins?
I believe so. Let me check.
Click on that. I don't know if I mentioned to you where the library is at the Bloomberg room. I invited you on Saturday, but I didn't tell you. It's in the Asuna library on the second floor of Asuna. It's in the well, it's the business school library. You guys can text me and I can instruct you if you don't know how to find it. And we're there from 1 to 5 if any of you are interested. All right, so Excel add-ins, and you have to pick the analysis tool pack and solver add-ins, but I never use that. But anyway, so I do them both. And then say okay. Let me know if you have trouble.
On my Excel, I don't see that tab. Or I see the data tab, but I don't see the tools tab.
Really? Do you want to show
Yeah,
me?
yeah, I'll show you.
Okay, let me allow you.
Give me one moment. Share. So this is my screen, and I see here where it says data, but I don't see the tools, nor nothing else. And I have the Microsoft Office from the UPR, but I
Okay.
don't see. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
what I
probably
would be
just
able.
because I use Apple and it might be different. So what about okay, what about under data? Go under data.
It just.
Oh, there's nothing there. Okay, so what
Yeah.
about oh, where am I gonna go then for it? Okay, go to the search and say tool pack. Write tool pack in the search.
Yes. Here.
I don't know if that's gonna search the
Trying to find myself here. What do I see though?
Mine also looks like that, and I had to search add-ins before I could search for toolpath.
Yeah, where did you
Yeah.
put it? You put it in add-ins at the search?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. There it is. There it is.
Here. Yes, notice here. Oh, there we see it. Analysis toolpack. This one.
There you go. That's what you want. And do the solver add-ins. I never use that, but it might be useful.
Perfect.
Solves problems. There you go. And now,
No, not yet. Can you do it again, please?
Christopher,
Okay.
it's
Yes.
in the
Yes.
search, Francette, in the search, add-ins.
Okay. Add-ins,
And
and then you select it.
yeah, I got it too. That's the same thing that was happening to me.
Great.
And so now if I put data, where did it go?
Okay, let's take 5 minutes, you guys. I'm just gonna take a break. I'm gonna get some tea.
Christopher is in the top right corner.
Dime. ¿Dónde?
Debajo de donde dice share, you'll see data analysis.
Debajo donde dice share the data.
All right, so we're just talking about the general demand function as a linear function. So this is just a proposed model that it's linear. And we're going to talk about what that means. So price is a factor. Income, so price of the good, influences the total quantity demanded. The income of the consumers, the price of related goods, the preferences of people. So what can influence preferences are maybe advertising, trends, things like that is captured in taste. Right. You guys, I'm reading the comments. And then this one, what's this one? Let's talk about this one first and I'll go back. Not in the quantity demanded. Yeah, I have economists here. This is the linear function factors that influence quantity demanded. So elasticity has to do with the price changes and things. We captured that in price. Right? Okay, what is this one? Okay, what is this one here? What do you think that is? And
Number of buyers.
very good. Yes. Population size. And then this one that I skipped over is the price expectations. So we're going to look at them one at a time and talk about the letter in front. So we use the capital letter for the variable, and then we have the letter in front. Do you guys know what that's called? What we call that? There's like a lot of names for it. What do we call that letter in front? If I tell you, you're going to forget. If you guys tell me, you're more likely to remember. Or if you try to think about it, you're more
Esa es la
likely to.
curva, los parámetros como coeficiente.
It's a coefficient. That's right. Excuse me. It's a slope. It's a slope. What does a slope mean? I have hiccups now. How do you interpret B? Put it in the chat. How do we interpret B? What is a slope? It's actually here on the sheet on this page. It's defined. But how do you interpret it in the context of this problem? How would you verbalize the impact? Okay, well, let's talk about this one here, B. That's a slope. So we say you're close, George. You guys are all kind of close, but kind of off. Okay, so B is seen as, oh, let me use my iPad. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my iPad. Okay, I'm going to review this. I'm going to discuss this with you. If you guys don't get it, means you need to do a review of math and lines and regression. So I'm going to put up some videos for that review rather than me doing a deep review right now with everybody that most of you guys do understand this. So I'm going to move ahead with this review, and you guys, if you need more review, you guys can do it personally. So let's say it's just this. So this is the slope. The slope is also written as like that. Or the change in the vertical axis influenced by a change in the horizontal axis. Usually we just talk about a 1 unit change. So we say for a 1 unit change, or for an additional unit. So let's talk about the context of P. What would that be for a $1 change in price, increase in price, the quantity demanded changes by whatever B is. Okay, so whatever B is the slope, rate of change, but that's how it's interpreted. Okay, because we this we treat by, it's ironic though, even though I'm doing Y and X, we draw this, when it comes to economics, we draw P on the Y-axis. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to avoid that altogether. All right. Well, actually, I have to show that. I wanted to make a point. And we do this holding, if I just have those two variables, if I believe that price and quantity pretty much are related, I leave it like that. But in fact, we know there's other factors that influence the quantity demanded. Right? So if we write it like this, this is our slope for income. Now this independent, so these are called the independent variables. And this is the dependent one. So how do we interpret this one? Who's going to give me the interpret of this one? Now I have two variables there. How do I interpret the slope? C.
Wouldn't that be, in this case, how the demand will be influenced by any more disposable income the price remains the same, but if the consumer has more money, they might be inclined to purchase more and leaving the price intact, or vice versa. The price went up, income stays the same, so the demand is gonna go down.
Okay, so you said a lot, but you're getting at the point of, okay, so the main point is that you said for $1 change, I'm going to say for well, I'll say $1 increase in income, the quantity demanded changes, because it can be positive or negative, by C. And now because there's another variable, I have to say something else. Because I want to talk about exclusively, this is called, so it's called a slope. It's also called a marginal effect. I can only talk about income in isolation, and I refer to the other one being held constant. And I'm going to demonstrate what I mean. Holding other variables constant. All other variables constant. Just like it says in the statement there, holding the others constant. So they don't change. This is just if income changes, price stayed the same of the good, it would influence quantity demanded by this C. If, so then there's a distinction that you were touching on. If we're talking about a normal good, C is what? What do we expect it to be? If it's a normal good, people have more money, they want more of it. That's what a definition of a normal good is. It's actually defined by the influence, the marginal effect being positive. Exactly, Andrew. Okay? But if the good is an inferior good, the C will be negative. An inferior good is a good when people make more money, they stop buying that good. So if we're talking about, well, there's the standard example is when people make more money, they buy less boxed food, right? They don't buy macaroni and cheese prepared boxes for meals. They start buying produce and other things. So, if with as a result of observation over time, we can anticipate what the variables, what the relationships are going to be. That's when I talk about with you about collecting the information from the papers that you read. What are those expected? What do you expect those relationships to be? What do you expect the dependent variable? How do you expect the dependent variable to respond? Is it going to be positive or negative in relation to those other independent variables? Okay, so we actually have expectations for some of these. Any questions so far? Does this all sound familiar and logical?
It does.
You remember this stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah, we're learning it in the other class as well, but it's
Oh, okay, that's good. So then so then maybe you can tell me about the price of related good. What do you expect D to be? Positive or negative? Now, in the case of M, okay, first, on the case of B, let's go back to B. What do you expect B to be, positive or negative?
in relations to C or in relations to the demand, to the quantity?
Always holding the other one's constant. So it's always
Okay.
in relation to quantity demand. Good question though. So what do we expect the sign of B to be? I went further to talk about C here. But what about B? What do we expect B to be? Positive or negative? What's the law of demand? Do you guys know the law of demand? You guys can look it up. But what do you expect? As price goes up, what happens? Everything else constant. No change in anything else. The price goes up, the quantity demanded.
It decreases.
Yes, that's the law of
Go.
demand. It always goes down. So B is expected to be negative. We expect B to be negative. So B we expect to be negative. C, it depends, right? Depends on the type of good it is. What about D? What about D? What do we expect about D? So a related good. The good one for you guys is arroz and habichuela. Let's say this was the quantity demanded for arroz. And the price of beans went up. What would happen?
Then the consumption of rice would also decrease.
Okay, so yeah, so if the price of, what did I say? The price of rice, what I forgot what I said now. This is
An increase in the price of
this was
beans.
rice, right? I said
Yeah,
rice. Okay. So the price of rice goes up. Oh no, I was talking about beans.
beans.
Sorry. And with the quantity demanded is for rice. I even forgot what I said. So the related good is beans, and the price of beans goes up. What happens to the quantity demanded for rice?
It goes down.
It goes down because also beans are going to go down. They're going to buy less of both as a
Yes.
result. What if we're talking about substitute? So those would be called complementary goods, right? So complementary goods, when the price of a complementary good goes up, you're going to buy less of it and the thing that is complement to it, right? The quantity demanded of your thing. So that's for complementary goods. But if they're substitute goods and the price of that related good goes up, what's going to happen to your the demand for your good? So I have to think of the example. What's a classic of substitutes?
Like fruits.
Trying to think of substitute goods. What if there's no difference? You don't. Well, I'm thinking of shoes. I'm thinking about shoes and substitutes. I don't know. You guys
Oh,
have any
like
examples?
one size. I remember an example. There was if you wouldn't buy like a bunch of of
There's Carlos with
shoes.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi, classic
Yeah.
substitute goods. So the price of Coca-Cola goes up if they're substitutes and your good is Pepsi, you're going to buy more Pepsi instead, right? Because it's a substitute for Coca-Cola. So it depends. So you were saying, George, I interrupted you. You were thinking about substitute goods.
No, it was my bad. I was thinking of another example, but it wasn't the right one.
Okay, it's okay. So, um, so I'm just adding. I don't need to do all these, but in the notes, it's all written in the notes here, but we're just thinking it through. So D, like C, it depends. So D will be positive, so you're going to demand more of it, or D will be negative, you're going to demand less of it depending on the related good. So if it's complementary, or substitute. And we're thinking of a price increase. Okay, so I'm always thinking of a price increase. What happens? And complementary. Rice and beans. Okay, so I always think, I think these are the x's. All of these are independent. They're all like the x variables. For taste or yeah, preferences. If the preference increases for it, you're good. What do you expect E to be? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Right, you're going to quantity demand, it goes up. What about if the expected price of your good is increasing? The expected price is that it's going to increase. What happens now? What happens today?
It goes down.
Think about it again.
Oh, wait, you mean the expected price, not the actual price, the perception of it?
Exactly. The perception that it's going to go up in the future.
Oh, then it goes up as well. It's going to
You're
go
going
up.
to buy it in anticipation, right? Very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stocking up.
And then more people, more demand. All right. So that's the idea. So this is it. This is just a summary page, right? I'm going to give you guys these notes. I'll make them visible so you guys can have them. And this is just a discussion of what we said. And here are everything in terms of Q and P changes, like I did change in Y over change in X. Are you guys looking at you guys are looking at my iPad, aren't you? Oh, sorry. I'm
Yes, we are.
I've got to go back to so everything's in the notes. I'm going to go back to those notes. It's all explained in the notes here. Everything we talked about, okay? So this is a linear model in that we're adding all the variables together with the marginal effects. It's in multiple dimensions. We can only visualize in 2 or 3 dimensions, not more. Okay? So the model is visualized in economics in 2 dimensions. We often draw, like I mentioned, you see all the stuff we talked about is all summarized here, so you guys can have that. I'll share that with you. Skip over this, you guys can read about that. So here's the model that we usually work with. Notice, however, we flip price and quantity demanded because what we want to do is we go ahead and we create a supply curve as well. It's called a curve, even though it's a line. Bear with us. And we superimpose them on top of each other to find equilibrium. You guys have seen that before, right? So there's equilibrium of supply and demand. Similar thing with supply. It also is a linear function with many variables that you guys can read through. And this is a beautiful model, elegant, very elegant economics is talking about equilibrium. Okay, so we put price on this axis and both quantities on the horizontal axis so we can cross them, intersect them, and find the level of demand for a certain point in time, where you have the supply curve and the demand curve. But it's only Q and P. That's the point I'm making. Just Q and P. What happened to everything else? What happened to those other variables? I have all those variables there. Does anybody know?
They
Yeah,
remain the same.
Hey,
You keep them constant because you're focusing on just the two variables that you're analyzing, and then you assume that the others remain constant in order to be able to do the interpretation.
excellent, Christopher. So we hold those other constants, work with these two, and if anything, we introduce one at a time in this two-dimensional space. We introduce one at a time as a shift in the curve. So that's how we deal with the multiple dimensions. We hold the other ones constant. So this is the idea here where we have, let's go back to the demand curve because that's all we talked about. So what happens with the demand curve? Sorry. Here's the demand curve. This is the bolder one is where we begin with the demand curve. And it can be drawn as a line that is estimated. We can estimate it with some data as a regression line even. And we can imagine what happens if there's an increase in income. So people make more money, assume it's a normal good. For every level, for every price, you see, every level of price. So if it's 100, it goes from being here to here. It shifts. Why? Because a normal good with more income in society, among the population, greater income, there's going to be more quantity demanded for every price level. So it shifts horizontal that way. Okay, so there's a demand increase of the whole thing for every, and we consider every price level. If there is a reduction in income, so COVID, what happens? Everyone's making less money, or in general, the economy goes through a recession, and the price, for every level of price, there's less demand overall, and it shifts to the left. Okay, so that's how we see that. All right. Any questions about this? And you can think about it the same for the other variables as well. We think about them in isolation one at a time and how they influence. Okay, so what we're going to do next, like I said, I'll share that with you for your record, for that you guys can look at that. You've seen something like that before, just as a model of linear relationship. Now this is the model. This is the parameterized model. Like this is how we believe the variables interact. In regression analysis, we collect a sample of data and we test the model. We try and observe how those variables interact. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the Z statistics spreadsheet and work with it. We're going to talk about the linear model like this among the variables. We don't have as many variables, but we have a few. And then we're going to talk about different kinds of representations or transformations of the data as well, because they might not just be aligned. They might have different, like we talked about age. As we were saying with the car, it's not exactly always positive. The trend isn't always positive. After a certain age, or until a certain age, the price will go down the older the car. But if it survives, if cars make it past a certain age, that means they've been maintained and they become classic cars. So the price goes up. That's not a linear relationship, is it? It's a curved relationship. And so we want to represent different kinds of relationships. However, it can be modeled using linear regression just the same. And I'm going to show you how. All right, so let me stop this. And what you can do, like I'm going to start you guys off. We only have like an hour left. I'm going to start you off with this. And then you guys can watch the videos if you need them to finish. Well, you actually have to watch the videos because there's different models. There's like, I think 8 different models I want you to construct. So hold on a moment. I put the link to the Z statistics videos that you can use, that you can watch to complete the exercise. But we're going to get started, like I said. Okay, well, so what we're going to do, we're going to go model by model. The first model we want to run is with the 2 variables, age and odometer as independent and price as the dependent. I'm going to let you guys try it without me and then I will join you. Let's see You can try it on your own, which I think you guys are doing. And then I'll join. Did you guys do it? So what I want you to do is begin by visualizing the data with scatter plots. I want you guys to make scatter plots. To look at the data. So I highlight, you guys can see me, right? Yeah. So if you insert chart, or you guys can do it from here, I think. Insert chart, and you can make a scatter like that. Are you guys looking at my graph?
Yes.
Yes.
So how do we comment when we look at the scatter plot? We have to comment if it's a linear relationship, if it's positive, and if it's a strong relationship. Does this look like a line to you? And if it's a line, what trend is it? Positive or negative? Is it inverse relationship? Does it correspond with what we suspect? I don't know what you guys are doing, but if you're gonna do it on your own, I don't need to go through this. Comments?
I was doing the same thing you were doing, Professor, in Excel.
So how do you comment on this, George?
Hmm,
Is that a
they,
line?
it could be a line, yeah.
It's a pretty bad one though. If
Yeah.
it's a line, they're very far off the line. So, but we'll begin with a line and then we'll look at different alternatives. Let's look at let's try, I'm gonna try price and age just to look at it. You have to put them side by side to be able to
Okay.
plot them. So I'm gonna insert, oh sorry, I'll do it here. Insert scatter plot that way. Okay, what about this one? Okay, first of all, you know what I need to do is I think I'm doing the backwards too. Let's try that because I have them reversed. Let's do that again. Because I see the numbers here, prices on the y-axis,
The one.
x-axis. It's still going to be similar, but let's do it. So if you're going to do two at a time, it has to be x, y. Insert. Okay. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks the same. And then for age, and then x, y. So let's graph that. That's better. That's what I want to see. Okay, so both of these are price. You can highlight here and write in. And for a graph, it's always price is the y versus, in this case, age. And this one is price versus odometer. So you should always visualize in pairs your data. You should look at it first. What do you see about age? You see the pattern we discussed, right? As the age increases, the price goes down. But after a point, like it looks like here, the older the car, the higher the price. Look, there's that 90-year-old car worth $35,000. Okay. Okay, so you can keep any of the graphs you do, you can keep them on a different worksheet, let's say. Let me bring them over. All right, so we're going to explore the regression of this relationship where we're going to take both age and odometer as X and price as Y. In this case, I think I can do price when you have if you have more than one independent, you can do it like this. I don't know. I think this works. Oh, didn't like that I did that. I erased one of my, because this is referencing that. I wonder if I copy, edit, paste special picture, paste special. Move this here. I don't know if that's gonna work. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I want to do odometer and age and odometer and price. I won't erase anything. I'll just insert. It's gonna go on top. Okay. Any questions so far? I'm just like clicking around. You guys are not, I'm not sure how you're doing, but okay. I'm gonna do the analysis. I think you highlight those. And no, we're not gonna do that. What do I want to do? All right, here. Data analysis. And this dialog box pops up, and it gives me some things I can do. I'm going to ask to do regression. I'm going to input the Y by clicking here, and I think, no, I got to highlight the whole thing. To highlight, I'm going to drag, but I'm sure there's an easier way that I used to use. And return. And then for the input of the X variables, I go with the labels, carry the labels, and return. And tell it that you left the labels in the selection. Indicate that you want a new worksheet with the results, the output or results. And you want to see the residuals, the residual plots, and I guess we can take the normal plot. So these are all for diagnostic checks to see if the assumptions of linear regression are satisfied. So we're going to have to go through that as well. Standardized residuals. I'll leave it off. All right, so there's my output. So here are my plots that help validate or assess that the assumptions of the model are met. We're going to start over here. So the videos in the Z statistics series go through some introduction about the R square, or I guess you must have seen this before. We work with the adjusted R square. R square is a measure of fit of the data. How close are those data points resembling or like fitting on a line or a linear relationship? How well are they doing that? And here, what is it telling you? What is R square? How do we interpret R square? Does anybody know? Can you put it in the chat? Actually, can I confirm that everybody got this? Everybody got the same result? Everybody else, only Andrew? I assume Carlos got it. Yes, Carlos made a comment about the fit. It doesn't look like a line at all. You're going to have to transform the data, which we will do. We will do in the course of analyzing this, but we're just going to go through one at a time. It's okay, George. Just let's do the interpretation now. How about everybody else? There's 9, 10 people here. 9 people. Anybody else? Did you get the output? All right, so let's go to look at the results. How do we interpret this R square or the adjusted R square? Does anybody know? Carlos is correct. 17%. So when you have the R squared, so the R squared is the R squared, and R is the correlation coefficient. It seems relatively low, right? 17%. And we saw that it's not really a linear fit, right? There's a different kind of shape. So 17% of the variation in Y, which is price, is explained by age and odometer. These are the X's. And then when you use the adjusted R square, I'm going to actually interpret that one because what the adjusted R squared, so R square will always increase if you add more variables, but we don't want to just increase R square. We want to account for the fact, is it improving by adding those variables, or we want to account for the fact that we don't want to just that we're adding more variables that's going to increase R square. That's not what we want to accomplish. So this is adjusting to account for the fit. So it's rather low. Let's just go through the process anyways, and then you can use the same analysis. So what does this mean? This is the result of a significance test of the model. The null hypothesis of the test is all coefficient estimates are 0, or all means. So coefficients, like again, we can call them slopes. Okay, they're all 0. The alternative hypothesis, so if we reject the null hypothesis in favor of the alternative hypothesis, the alternative says that at least one of the coefficients is not 0. Okay, so there's some sort of effect. There's some sort of relationship with one of the variables at least. So how do we know if we reject? What is the cutoff? What is the standard for rejecting this null hypothesis that there's no relationship? We check to see if it's less than 5%. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Okay, so can we reject the null hypothesis in this problem? Yes. So now we're going to go and look down here. So these are the stops. We go to the R square, adjusted R square. Then we go and look at the overall test. And then we go look at the coefficients and their signs to see if they're meaningful and what we expect. Okay. We begin with the p-values and look at them individually, because here it just says at least one of the coefficients is non-zero. Now the p-value here for each one is going to tell us which one is non-zero. It could be all of them. We didn't even mention the intercept. We're going to talk about that too. So what does the p-value tell us? Yes, Carlos, it's nonlinear. But we're going to account for that in the next regression. Less than 0, Carlos. Less than 0.05, not greater. It's okay. I'm sure you understand. Okay, so this number here is smaller than 5%. This number is smaller than 5%. They're all smaller than 5%. So what does it mean? The test here is that the coefficient one at a time is 0 against the null that it's not equal to 0. So it means that there is a relationship. There is a slope. It's not just flat. So all of these are significant. I'm not, well, we can go, let's go through all of them. Yes, that there's some significance. And so they're all, so this, but the overall F test is about the whole model, and it only speaks about one, so at least one, so it could be all of them that are significant. Okay, so we're saying that they're non-zero, meaning, in other words, you can say the word significant. We say significantly different from 0. Right? All right, so how do we interpret each of these? We made it a linear model, so it's pretty easy. Okay, I want you guys to write a statement for the interpretation. I'm going to put some more rows here. I do everything in Excel. If you guys are getting confused or I'm going too fast, let me know.
I have a question. So we've established with the first hypothesis that all coefficient estimates are 0 and to reject it if it is below 5%. So in this case, we'll be making a statement or the assumption that the relationship is linear because that's what we have been seeing with this preliminary model, that because they're all in the same direction, so to speak.
So we're showing that it's not flat. Basically, if the slope is 0, it's flat, right?
Mhm.
So there's a trend. is different from 0. So there's some sort of relationship or linear trend. But we have an issue with there's some sort of trend, but it's not necessarily that the scatter plot like we saw was like close on the line. It's not tight. That's what the R square shows. It's not a tight thing, but it's not flat, that there's a trend up or down. If you go back to the graphs here, there's some sort of trend going on. This one's going down, that one's kind of going down and then up anyway, but it's all over the place. That's what the R square says. So there's some sort of pattern, but it's not great. But we can still do the interpretation. Okay, we're going to still go with the interpretation for practice of what these coefficients mean. So what is the first? Okay, let's do age odometer and then we'll do intercept. So what does this mean? 98.92.
That age determines 98% of the price.
No, no, no. It's just a linear relationship. So what did we do? Let's write the model out here. So the model, regression model, remember, I'm assuming you guys know the statistics. I didn't do the statistics intro. So if you don't understand what I'm doing, you're going to have to watch the intro to statistics and linear regression that I'm going to link. Okay, so you guys have a lot of work this week. So y hat is equal to 4616. I'm going to ignore the decimals. Plus 99 times age plus or minus 23 times odometer. So this is like the model that we just saw in the demand curve, right? But the difference is that was a model of parameterization. This is a result from the sample. So it's just it's not on a perfect line, a set of lines or anything. It's just it looks like that. So it looks similar to what we looked at with the quantity demanded. So how do you interpret that? Oh, and I'm going to call this white hat of price hat. Oh. So y hat is estimated price. Okay, let's try this again. So what is how do I interpret age? How do I interpret the 99? The influence of age. For each additional year of the car, what do I say? The price increases Carlos, you're way ahead. Nobody's talking to me. I don't know where anybody is at right now. No. Carlos, you're on. Actually, you're not ahead. You're on time. I don't know what other people are doing. They're all quiet except for George. You guys need to speak up. Are you behind? Are you doing this? Are you watching Netflix? Like, what are you doing? For each additional year of the car, the price increases. How much? Sorry, I didn't hear. George, was that you?
No, I think that was Christopher.
Oh, Christopher, what'd you say?
Oh no, I didn't say anything. I was just looking what you were typing. I didn't say anything.
Okay. So for each additional year of, each additional year of age of the car, the price increases? How much? Yeah, Andrew, $99. For each additional odometer, for each additional unit on the odometer reading, what happens? Oh, sorry, I forgot to say something. For each additional year of the car, the price increases $99 on average. Ceteris paribus. That is holding age constant. So on average, it's like I'm going to hold it. So at one age, I'm kind of going to average across the ages. That's what I'm doing for an older car and for a younger car. On average, it's $99. That's the idea. So for the next one. So for each additional kilometer, I'm assuming those are kilometers because this is New Zealand data. That's right. For each additional kilometer, on the odometer reading, on the odometer, the price, what are you guys going to say? Andrew said it. What are you guys going to say?
Decreases by $23.
Decreases by $23 on average. Ceteris paribus. Holding age constant. Oh, sorry, I wrote the wrong thing here. Holding, not age, holding odometer constant. This is not age. That one was odometer constant, and this one is age constant. And how do we interpret the intercept? I left this to the end. I didn't mention it at all. How does it work in the equation? You need a break? Carlos? Okay, that's fine. You could take a break. You did all the work already. So how do you interpret the intercept?
Is the intercept the baseline or the starting point in price?
Look at the equation. The intercept is here. When age is 0 and odometer is 0, the price is $4,616. That's how you do it. It's not exactly the baseline in this interpretation, but the odometer reading, let's see the graphs again.
I didn't grasp the last part of the intercept because
Okay, look here, right? The data, I guess it does go around the 0. So the zero is the axis here, right? If you look at the data, where's my data? Is any of the data at 0? Age is 0. Like there's no 0 in the, right? There's no car with 0 age unless it's like right out of the shop, a manufacturing plant. And odometer readings, it means like it would be brand new car. Oh, we have this one here. We have a couple of old ones. That's right. I mean, new ones, brand new. It's a couple of brand new ones. It's true. So it means the intercept is where the other variables are 0. So you have a brand new car with no mileage. The price on average, the average price is 4,616. So let's do that. I'm going to put at the beginning here for age. And here it's going to be for odometer. And then it's intercept. When age and odometer are 0, the price is 4,4616. And I guess that's on average. And that's how you interpret that. Now, how good is this model? Again, these are the results. How meaningful are they? How depends on how good the fit. And we saw the fit was poor, right? It's a very weak fit.
Okay.
So it's not that reliable. So let's do something. So we ran through one. We're going to do the same thing again, but with better models. We're going to improve the fit every time. Okay. Does anybody want to take a screenshot?
Professor, for our
Yes,
project, are we gonna be are we gonna have like a minimum of R square that we're gonna have to hit?
No, like for your papers?
Yes.
No, no. I just want you to do something thorough. Yeah, you don't, I'm not going to put a number on it.
Okay.
Yeah, because different problems, I don't think there can be a standard because it depends on the paradigm you're looking at.
Yeah, the data.
And yeah, some analysis on a low R squared, relatively speaking to other models, is good. So you can't, I couldn't put a number on it. But this is terrible, right? So here are the residual plots. What we look for in the residual plots, here are the residuals. Do you guys know what a residual is? The residuals are taking this equation here. They take the equation and they check every single value that was observed, so every single value of the sample, and they put it in the equation and they compare it against what the actual observation is and calculate the residuals. So this is, residuals are the Y observed minus the Y predicted for every observation. And it's all automatically calculated for you here. And it shows you how far off the model is. And then these plots plot the residuals, and you shouldn't see in here for each variable, you shouldn't see any kind of pattern. It should just be all kind of around 0, scattered around with no pattern. Unfortunately, we see a pattern here. So what it means is that our model left a lot to be explained, a lot to be desired. So the residuals show a pattern. There's variables missing that are being captured that have fallen into the residuals. And the pattern, there's a pattern here. So it means that we have to consider other variables that are missing, or transformations of the variables that we have. For instance, we already saw in the plot over here that there's kind of a parabola shape. You know, this one is logarithmic. Something's going on here. It's very long, it's skewed and curvy. There's different models, like logarithm can fit that. And this one is a parabola for sure. Okay, so those are nonlinear, but we can still use linear regression with a transformation to capture that. And that's what we're going to talk about. We have time. Okay, so I have in this sheet the results of model 1. I'll call this model 1. I have an assignment sheet where all the I've written all the models. That's model 1. Model 2, hold on, I'm going to pull up the assignment sheet. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to run a model with age and age squared. And also, we're going to invert odometer. We're going to create a variable called 1 over odometer. So what you got to do is create these variables, and we're going to run the model with them. Whenever you introduce a squared or cubed variable, oh, can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Yeah. You have to include also the lower degree variable with it. You can't just put age squared in, you have to also include like age. So what we're going to do, I'm going to insert here. I have a lot of things floating around in here, but because I have to do price, age. Okay, I can erase some of this stuff. I have too many prices. Delete this. Delete this. So I want, yeah, insert in here and create age. That's because I have those scatter plots. They disappeared now. I should just erase them. They're making a headache. I can make them anytime I want to see them anyways. So I'm going to create a variable called age squared to create that parabola, to capture that parabola effect. So how do I make it? Equals 28 squared. And then replicate it all the way down. So that's that. And then odometer, beside odometer, oh no, I'll do it over here. I'll create odometer, 1 over odometer. And the way I do that is equal 1 divided by odometer. Does anybody need me to repeat that? And then duplicate it all the way down. And now highlight them all. And rerun it. So tools for me, data analyze, regression. Okay. And I don't know, I highlighted, oh, did it get it? So B, so it knows to go to all the way to 101 because the first row is the labels and then the X range goes from C to E. I want to go all the way to E. Change that to E. And I want to select with labels, open a new worksheet, residuals and residual plots. And let's go. And there it is. Unfortunately, I still see a pattern here. So we didn't eliminate that, the pattern. Let's look at the R square though. What do you see? How do you comment? Wow, look at that. By introducing a square term, we did quite a bit there. Way better, yeah. 59, 50, 59% R squared and adjusted R squared still very high, 57%. So that's quite the improvement. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop here because it's 22. I just want to show you, I want to answer any questions that you have. What I want you to do, I have the assignment. Let me show you the assignment. This is for next week. I want you to do what I did for each of these models I'm going to show you. And watch the videos, the Z statistics videos. There's 10 of them. It's quite a while. That's why I worry about you guys spending too much time in literature review. I'll probably have to extend this assignment. Maybe I can also give you to Friday for that. Okay, so I'll change this one till Friday and I'll change the other one to the next Friday because I think you're going to need more time. And I don't want to let it blend into the next week. So this is the assignment here. These are all the models you're going to try, okay? And the way that I did it just now, I want you to interpret the R square, the F value of the test, the P values, and the F stat for the test, and then the P values for the coefficients, and then the interpretations. Okay, I want you to do that all. All of these are explained in the video, in the videos. So you're just going to follow along and make the interpret. He does an excellent job explaining everything. All right, so we'll find out next week when we meet where your deficiencies are and what you need. Let's see if you guys can try to get through this. I don't know, just so that you can have questions for me next week. Any more questions for me?
Professor, just to be clear, the homework that we got extension for was a literary review for the next Friday, and this is for this Friday?
No, the literature review is going to be for the coming Friday on September, let me see the date, 17. No, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. I'm in a different year. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, 19.
September 19th. And
Okay.
then the 26th, I'll change the day of this one that I'm projecting until the 26th.
Okay. Perfect.
Let me check what we have coming. So that's just to give you a chance to get really, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I think it's fun. Nice. It's a good review for people who've done this before, and for people who have not done it, it's going to be a little more difficult, I guess, but you got to do it. We got to do this. We got to learn about regression before we're going to actually write a paper with regressions in it, right? Let me get to the platform. Where my course. I'm just going to look at the schedule. So I'll make a section with review statistics if you want to go back to basics and watch just some statistics and regression, and you can do that, but don't go too far back. Just try and finish, try to get through this assignment as we've discussed, and then maybe look to clear up the gaps later. All right, so I'm going to move this one to the 19, and then the 26th of September. Yeah, so we're good. We still have like 3 weeks for the proposal, so that's fine with me. We can use Fridays as deadline so that when we meet, you guys can ask me questions. Okay, any questions for me? I'm gonna fix up the website. Maybe I can, well, I gotta check everything. I gotta make sure I have it clear. So I'm good. This is gonna be called assignment 3. You guys continue with your literature review, and I'm gonna post this video as well. Shall I put the Excel file that I just did just for a backup? Excel file.
Yes.
I just did one. I only did one model, but it's just like an outline. Make sure that you guys are getting the same results. Why did I choose these variables, Alexandra? Was because we saw the parabola in age. It was like this. And when a parabola goes like this, the coefficient on x squared should be what? Positive or negative? That's also interesting. It's all very interesting and fun when you make predictions and you test them. Let me see the output again.
I have a quick question about the literature review assignment. You mentioned that if the journal does not appear in the ABCD database, if it has an H value of 5 or higher, we can include it. Is that the H
No,
index?
H5, the H index, yeah, the H index of 7 or higher. It's
The
called
H.
an H5 index because you use 5 years to test it. Were you in that class, or you were in that class, right? When we did that, Andrew?
I believe so. I'm just seeing in publisher parish, I just see H index and also the HL annual.
Yeah, it's the H index, but you have to specify 5 years of a range so that it's interpreted as the H5.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. That helps.
2020 to 2025, is that 5 years? Or that's 6 years. 2020, 2024 is 5, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5. So yeah, you got to make sure it's 5. And and it should be, you should check the 5 years.
Prior to the research, right? To the paper.
It should be 5 years prior to the paper being published. That's very specific, but yeah. So, the quality of the paper when it was published.
Professor, I had a
Quality of the
question.
journal when it was published. Hey?
For the ABDC, we can use A plus, A and B.
Oh, you can use them all. Anything, A, B, C, it's
or
fine.
not?
A plus, B, A, B, C, yeah. I just wanted to address Alexandra's comment
Okay.
about the model. Sorry. Oh no, this is not the one. Is this the one? It's not it. I have so many things open right now. Okay. So when a parabola goes like this way, the coefficient on the square term should be a positive or negative. Do you guys know? Do we expect it to be positive or negative? You guys don't know? So that's the kind of thing you need to know the what coefficients you expect. And if it's going up like this, it should be positive on the square term, and it is. Okay? It goes like this, it should be negative on the square term. So okay, that's it for today, unless you guys have any questions for me.
Not on my end, Professor. Thank you so much.
See, this actually, these the line fit plots are nice because it shows you the fits. That's interesting. So okay, so you guys, any comments, questions? George is good.
For now.
Okay, so good luck and we'll be in touch and enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions or have any confusion. I'll do my best to clear it up before next time we meet.
Thank you very much. Have a nice
Good night.
day.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.